Hi there, please feel free to tip me a minimum of $2. I personally assure you that your contribution will go directly toward feeding children in need. Here's my satirical movie recap, keeping the original story intact but adding commentary. In New York City, where tuition is high and emotional stability is optional, sophomore Al and freshman Imogen do what most college students do best: fall in love very quickly and very confidently. Within 3 months, a lifetime in college years, they are convinced they've discovered eternal love, which naturally leads to a grand romantic gesture involving art, intimacy, and the kind of decisions that feel profound at 19 and questionable at 29. Al's roommate Monk, who has taken the noble academic route of becoming a porn actor-director, steps in as the relationship philosopher. His thesis, love is fake, temporary, and best replaced with poor life choices. His co-star Cyrus helpfully tests this theory by flirting with Al. When Al loses a bet and ends up as an extra in Monk's film, because of course he does, Imogen is understandably less than thrilled. Apparently, career exploration has limits. Imogen heads to France, where existential questions bloom faster than vineyards. When asked about marriage, she realizes she is, in fact, 19, not a character in a rushed romantic drama. She returns emotionally distant, while Al, caught between dreams of French cuisine and a family legacy of cooking show fame, continues his identity crisis like a true artist in progress. In a bold attempt to fix things, Al organizes a countryside picnic, because nothing says stable relationship like forced romance. On the way back, Imogen crashes the car while drunk, which they interpret not as a warning sign, but as a motivational speech from the universe to try harder. Naturally, Monk predicts doom, because he's basically the human embodiment of a red flag detector. Things spiral further when intimacy becomes inconsistent, insecurities bloom, and Al begins questioning his masculinity after being told, "Not tonight," a moment that apparently requires a full existential meltdown and a fantasy detour involving Cyrus. Meanwhile, a pregnancy scare adds just enough tension to remind everyone that actions have consequences, even if the story prefers emotional chaos over practical thinking. Then comes Jim, the musician, because every relationship crisis needs a conveniently artistic third party. When Imogen collaborates with him, arguments erupt, and in a classic escalation move, she sleeps with Jim. The breakup that follows is messy, tearful, and completely inevitable to anyone who isn't inside the relationship. She moves to San Francisco, because distance is the traditional cure for emotional disasters. Al, now alone, graduates into the thrilling world of post-breakup depression. Monk, having upgraded himself into an intellectual speaker, because why not, is too busy to help, proving that even chaotic friends have career growth arcs. Al drifts through life, casual dating, failed culinary ambitions, and deep commitment to self-destruction, culminating in the inspired decision to drink Imogen's shampoo in an attempt to cleanse his feelings. This lands him in the hospital, where at least someone is finally paying attention to his life choices. Eventually, his parents intervene with a party, because nothing heals emotional trauma like snacks and social pressure. Monk apologizes, friendships are patched, and just when things seem stable, Imogen reappears, now a successful artist, because personal growth apparently happens off-screen. They reconnect, reflect, and arrive at the groundbreaking conclusion that maybe, just maybe, they were too young and dramatic the first time. So naturally, they decide to try again. Al gets a respectable job at a 4-star restaurant in San Francisco, proving that growth is real, and surprises Imogen with a romantic evening, because in the end, love may be chaotic, ill-timed, and occasionally shampoo-flavored, but it still gets a second chance. Hi there, please feel free to tip me a minimum of $2. I personally assure you that your contribution will go directly toward feeding children in need.